Hello, hello everyone, and welcome back to Kentucky Garden Gal. This is Nancy, and today we are going to be visiting with Junior Logan. You've seen him, he and his wife Sheila, many times on my channel, but he's always doing fun and crafty things, and he is making tell us what you're making, Junior.
We're making a strawberry planter out of a 30-gallon barrel. So I've had to measure it out and cut the slots out so they alternate, and then we heat, and then we stick a wine bottle is what we put in to make the pockets, and that's where you would plant your strawberry when we get it all filled up full of dirt.
Was there a template for this, or,
Nope.
did you just
I just had to draw it out. I had to measure the barrel to get the circumference of it, and then space them out.
And then how many spaces?
This will hold 25 plants,
Okay.
is what this one will hold on a 30-gallon barrel. So there's it's 7 to a row, so you can figure it up that way.
Okay.
So you got 21 slots, and then you'll have 4 plants in the top.
Okay, so you've got 21 of what they call pockets.
Pockets, yep.
And then you'll have 4 plants on top.
Top.
Okay.
And we'll probably put a 4-inch PVC pipe for a compost tube.
In the center.
And that way it'll help feed the plants with the worm castings and all that. You'll put all that in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing. Just something fun. And another, it don't take any room. So,
Oh, that's right. That
saves
is
your
exactly
space.
right. Yes.
so I can get
Yes.
25 plants in that right there.
Okay, so let's go out and you can show us.
Demonstrate how we do
Yeah,
one.
demonstrate how to do these pockets.
It takes just a few minutes to heat up. So.
And we've got
You'll have
a neighbor power washing up here, so I hope you're going to be able to hear us. But we'll watch Junior do this.
Gotta heat the slot up, and I'm using a heat gun. You can do it faster with a torch. I just didn't want to burn it up. So it takes a few minutes to get them hot.
And what did you use to make the holes or the cuts?
I
in the
used a
barrel?
grinder
A grinder.
with a
okay.
real small cutting wheel.
Okay.
A lot of people use a circular saw. To me, that was too dangerous. I need to keep all my digits. As clumsy as I am now.
So you can tell, I'm going to zoom in. He's heating up this cut right here.
Start lay it down. There we go. Now, you see I got it started.
Yes.
So just keep heating that shape of that pocket's going to be.
And it stretches it out.
Right, and just keep forcing that bottle in. See how you can keep shoving it in.
Yes.
And when you get it in, kind of heat it all up. And that's it.
Oh, good. So that
So-
made a pocket
So
right
when
there.
you let it dry, there's your pocket with your strawberry in.
Okay. So you only need to do that, what, 18 more times?
18 more times. But I've got a friend who's got a car wash to give me the drums, so I'm going to make a few of them.
Well, good. And thank you for
You're more than
sharing
welcome.
this with us.
We're trying to have fun.
That's right. And grow strawberries.
There we go.
Junior's going to show us how he lays out his barrels to be cut. Okay, go ahead, Junior.
So what you have is a circumference of 61 inches. So we laid it out. My pocket that I'm going to cut is 5 inches. And then I'm going to gap it 4 inches and then make another pocket. And then you'll do 3 rows of that. But your next row, the 5 inches that's here, will be here. So you've got to do it halfway around so your pockets don't line up. You don't want them stacked on top of each other. but you get three rows out of it. So it makes for 25 plants when you set all of it done.
And that, what did you say, how many gallons that is?
That's 30 gallons.
30-gallon plastic container.
Yep. And I have got some 55 gallon ones I'm gonna try too.
Right, that'd be a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger, but I figured this is all we needed right now.
That's right, that'll get you started.
That'll get us some fresh strawberries.
That's right. The next thing that Junior is going to show us is how he and Sheila grow potatoes in containers.
And we have laundry baskets. And we have put potatoes, and they are growing well. So as they grow, you just keep adding another level of dirt until you get all the way that full of dirt, and it'll be growing potatoes the whole full. You'll be a full basket of potatoes.
So what he did, they went to the Dollar Tree and they got these laundry baskets. They lined them with a paper sack.
Right.
Then how much soil did you put in the bottom?
Just, about 4 inches of soil.
4 inches of soil, and then a layer of seed potatoes.
A layer of seed potatoes, and just, covered them up.
Right.
And just watered them in and waited for them to start growing.
Okay, so when do you know to add more soil?
I'm going to let this get another inch or two high. Then we'll cover them completely up again, and that potato will continue to grow all the way out of the basket. But just keep covering it.
I know this is your first year, and there's the kitty. Hi, kitty. And do you know how many potatoes approximately this would produce?
No. There is 5 potatoes in each basket. Okay. 5 cuttings.
5 cuttings.
These are Kennybecks that's in here.
Okay, Kennybecks.
So I'm not sure what the yield will be. This is the first time trying, so anything is a plus.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Alrighty, so if you are interested in growing potatoes, this seems like a fairly straightforward way of doing it. It's even a project that you could do with your children or grandchildren, and then let them come out when it's time to harvest some fresh potatoes. So I thought I would show you this while we're here. This is Junior and Sheila's raised bed gardens. Now, it is Earth Day. Today is the 22nd of April, so happy Earth Day to everyone. But we have a chance of frost coming up in the next couple of nights. So to be on the safe side, Junior put these T-posts in his raised beds and then had some shrink wrap that he simply put around his seedlings. We had a storm yesterday, and in fact I'll put a picture up of some damage that I had in my backyard. It did blow pretty well, but because he had the shrink wrap around his raised beds, the wind did not bother them at all. So for the frost, what he'll need to do when it gets down where we think it's going to frost, he will come and put the shrink wrap over the top. Right now it's open, but to protect it from the frost damage, he will go ahead and put the shrink wrap over top. And we'll have to come back and check on these beautiful raised beds in a few months, because they have an incredible amount of produce that they get out of these raised beds. I have done a video, and I will put that video in the first comment in case you're interested in viewing that. This happens to be one of those, I think it's a 500-gallon tank, and you can cut them in half and make raised beds out of them. They're not the prettiest things in the world, but they work. And if you're wanting to grow vegetables in a raised bed or container gardening, this is really an economical way to do it. And in this bed, you'll see that I have peas growing. I have radishes over here. I think that is Swiss chard. I have carrots, and I have some lettuce. So you can really pack a lot of vegetables into a small space. And what I'll probably do right here is thin these radishes out and put some more in here, and then maybe come in and sow some more lettuce, because it doesn't look like that lettuce took right there. But when this is finished, I will just do succession planting where I plant other things in there. I'll show you over in this one. I've got some basil back there. I have some daffodils blooming in this one. And these will get to a point where they will be dying back. And I will come right in here and put in my tomato plants. And I'll also plant some marigolds around kind of the outside to keep the bugs away. If you can plant marigolds anywhere near your vegetable garden, that is one of the best plants to have to deter pests. This is another one of my container beds. And one of the things that I work on pretty much constantly is adding the soil, amending the soil. And what I do have in here, 4 inches is the minimum, absolutely the minimum that you can use for raised beds. But in this instance, like, I just keep building my soil. I'm adding in my chopped leaves and different things like that. But in this bed, I have herbs. I've got the fennel right here. This is some sage. I think I've got 2 different kinds of sage in here. And I will put something else in these corners. I have space for 2 more herb plants, but I will just pack it as full as I can get it. And in fact, I have 2 rosemary plants that I need to put in here. So I may put my rosemary in here, or I may put it somewhere else where I can add some sand, because it does need really good drainage. But again, you can just pack your containers full of vegetables, and you can add in flowers, you can do your herbs, just whatever you want to grow. And you know, we always say, grow what you eat. If you're going to come out and gather your food, then you want it to be something that you enjoy eating. So this is how I have this one planted up. This is another container of sweet peas that I have. And I am a big believer in start where you are, use what you have. And as you go along, you can upgrade and do better. But right now, I have this, I'm not even sure, I couldn't tell you where it came from. I couldn't tell you if I bought it, somebody gave it to me, or I have no idea. But look at the peas. Look at these peas. I had 2 patches of peas, and these are just going crazy. Now over here, if you notice this was a fire ring, and I no longer was using it as a fire ring, and somebody gave me a start of Jerusalem artichokes, and I planted them. I did not take any of them out last year because I wanted them to reproduce so that I could take some to the farm and give some to friends. And this has just filled up. I mean, this is the beginning of the season. These things will get over 10 foot tall, and really at this point I would say there's probably enough in there. I definitely would need to thin these out. But the Jerusalem artichoke is a root vegetable. You can use it, like maybe if you wanted to put it in your mashed potatoes, and to make less carbs, if you were worried about diabetes or something like that, that would be a really good way to use them. You could chop them up, put them in salads, different things like that. So I really didn't use any last year because, like I said, I wanted them to grow and naturalize, and boy, have they ever. So this video has been all about gardening in small spaces and containers. I hope that this has given you some ideas that you can just make a container out of practically anything. So if you have a desire to garden and you want to grow things, be creative, think outside the box. And like I said, start where you are and use what you have. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate this great gardening community that we have, and I just pray blessings on all of you for the week.